In this video, I'm going to just walk you through sort of where your game should be at this point in time, to sort of make sure that you have everything wired up correctly. So first off, I'm going to start in my scenes folder over here, and I'm going to open up level 0. So level 0, the 0th level. All it should really have at this point is a button. Now, if you started sort of polishing your game at this point, then you could have added a title as well. So as a reminder, we're going to make sure that canvas elements are, if you look at them right here, are set in the following manner. The render mode is going to be set to, let me resize this, screen space camera. And we're going to choose the main camera for the camera to be the render camera. And then we're going to go to canvas scaler and make sure that our UI scale mode is scale with screen size. That will allow us to make sure that it's not sort of hanging out over here, which is what you would do if you're building like a 3D game. So screen space camera, main camera, and then we're going to have a button. And we do that, remember, by right-clicking and adding a UI button that adds the canvas automatically. And then the button has a text object inside of it, and we have changed the text of the text button to be something like play or start game. And then buttons right here, you can change all sorts of various properties, like the color of the button, and there's a sort of normal state, which is how it always looks, the highlighted color, so if you hover your mouse over it when you're playing, it'll sort of give some indication and feedback to the player that there's actually something going on. In our hierarchy as well, we're going to have a game object. Just right-click, create empty game object that we named a level manager that we attached the level manager script to. And so the level manager script is going to be attached to the level manager game object. And so in order to get your button to work, we're going to go down into the on-click component. We're going to drag, so we're going to by default, there'll be nothing here. We're going to add a click event, and we're going to drag in our level manager game object right here. And then from function, we can actually access the level manager script that we wrote and use the load level function that we wrote. And then right here, we can type in the name of the scene that we want to load when we press play. So when we click, it will load level 1. So now in level 1, we're going to go ahead and check level 1. We really only have one additional game object in addition to our camera. And remember, our camera, the size of the camera is 2.4. Make sure that you also set a background color. But when you set the background color, make sure that you copy the hexadecimal code. And then you use that so that there's consistency across all of your various scenes. So if you change your background color, make sure that you copy that hex code that you see right here, sorry. And then we'll save any changes here. Go to level 0. We'll click on our main camera. We'll choose the color right here that we will paste right there. And so that way there's continuity between your scenes. All right, back to level 1. Our game engine is an empty game object that has the main script attached to it. So once you fully write the main script, you're going to see that we need to tell Unity which game object is the pipe object. And that is going to be the pipe prefab. So we'll just drag it up here and say, hey, whenever you're trying to instantiate a pipe, this is the thing that you're instantiating. Same thing we're going to do with the bird object. We're going to make that the bird prefab. And then pipe hole is going to be a number that determines how much space there is between the upper and lower pipe that are instantiated with the main script. Now, if everything is instantiating, but then nothing is actually working, we need to make sure that our bird prefab down here, I've sort of jumped ahead a little bit here. Our bird script, we need to make sure that there is a positive Y value for the vector 2 right here. That's going to basically add up, or what we call jump force. If your bird is not really flying at all, make sure that there is a value there. And then our pipe prefab, on our pipe script, we're going to make sure that there is a pipe velocity. If all that is set, you're going to see a couple other things sort of working on mine, which I could actually... I'll show you. I'll press play. You'll see that the bird instantiates. You'll see that the pipes instantiate. It's sort of spinning away here. So they both instantiate, and then the pipes move side to side. Here's what you're going to do next. Okay. So that's sort of what we did so far in terms of getting the rapid prototype built. But then we also added to our bird prefab an audio source component. And then in that audio source component, we dragged in this audio file swoosh sound effect, and we added to our bird the SFX script. And so the sound effects script, all that's really doing is waiting for the input of the left click or the fire 1, and then it's playing that sound every time you click. So that's sort of where you should be at this point. Make sure everything is in its place and all set.